Judith Maria and welcome to SC Global News. From the emotional revelation of actor Tim Allen forgiving his father's killer influenced by Erika Kirk'S words to the surge in AI-generated videos of Pope flooding social media, we have many stories to cover. Golden Globe winning actor Tim Allen has revealed that he has finally forgiven the man who killed his father 6 decades ago. The 72-year-old comedian said he was moved by Erika Kirk'S powerful words of forgiveness for her husband's killer. Allen shared the emotional revelation on X, calling it the end of his lifelong struggle with grief and anger.
Golden Globe award-winning actor and comedian Tim Allen shared on X late Thursday that he was finally able to forgive the man who killed his father 60 years ago after hearing the words of Erika Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, who publicly forgave her husband's killer. When Erika Kirk spoke the words about the man who killed her husband, that young man, I forgive him, that moment deeply affected me, the 72-year-old actor wrote. I've struggled for over 60 years to forgive the man who killed my dad. I will say those words now as I type. I forgive the man who killed my father. The Santa Claus star concluded his heartfelt post by wishing peace to everyone. Tim Allen lost his father, Gerald M. Dick, in November 1964 when he was just 11 years old. His father was killed when a drunk driver collided with his car on the way home from a college football game. The tragedy marked the beginning of Allen's strained relationship with God. In a 2012 interview, he admitted, quote, "Part of me still doesn't trust that everything will work out all right. I knew my father was dead, but I was never satisfied with why he was dead," end quote. Allen added at the time, quote, "I've had a tumultuous relationship with my creator ever since," end quote. But Erika Kirk's moving eulogy, in which she forgave the 22-year-old man who fatally shot her husband, marked the end of Allen's decades-long struggle with forgiveness. Charlie Kirk's legacy and his wife's public act of Christian witness have since inspired many and sparked renewed conversations about faith and forgiveness worldwide.
In the first major appointment of his nearly 5-month pontificate, Pope Leo XIV on Friday named Archbishop Filippo Ianan to head the Vatican office tasked with selecting Catholic bishops worldwide. He will lead the dicastery for bishops, the department that advises the Pope on which priests should be appointed as bishops across the Church's 1.4 billion members. Pope Leo XIV made his first big Vatican appointment on Friday, September 26th, naming an Italian legal expert to replace him as the prefect of the dicastery of bishops who will head the Holy See's office and vets bishop nominations around the world. The Holy Father headed the important Vatican office for 2 years until his election as Pope in May 2025. Born in Naples on December 13, 1957, Archbishop Filippo Ianan professes solemn vows as a Carmelite in 1980 and was ordained to priesthood in 1982. Bishop Ianan O. Carm has a bachelor degree of theology at the Pontifical Theological Faculty of Southern Italy and a PhD in canon law at the Pontifical Lateran University. Pope St. John Paul II named him Auxiliary Bishop of Naples, Italy in 2001. Pope Benedict XVI named him Bishop of Sora Aquino Pontecorvo in 2009 and Vicegerent of the Diocese of Rome in 2012. Since 2018, Archbishop Ianan has led the dicastery for legislative texts formerly called Pontifical Council. He currently serves as the Holy See's top legislator, leading the Vatican's legal office. His appointment to the dicastery of bishops now opens another key role that needs to be filled. Pope Leo XIV also reaffirmed Archbishop Ilson de Jesus Montanari as a secretary and Monsignor Ivan Kovac as undersecretary of the dicastery for bishops, extending their terms for another 5 years. Archbishop Montanari has held the position since 2013, while Monsignor Kovac was appointed in 2023. A massive sinkhole opened near Bangkok's historic Church of the Immaculate Conception on September 24th, disrupting traffic but causing no injuries. Authorities linked the collapse to nearby subway construction, raising concerns about the city's rapid urban expansion. Despite the danger, the faithful gathered in large numbers that evening to celebrate the feast of Our Lady of Mercy of the Redemption of Captives.
A massive sinkhole measuring 30 by 30 meters wide and 20 meters deep could not deter the faithful of Bangkok from attending the Feast of Our Lady of Mercy and the Redemption of Captives at the Church of the Immaculate Conception on Wednesday, September 24th. Devotees flocked to the historic church for the evening festivities despite heavy traffic disruptions and road closures. The sinkhole had opened near the church on Wednesday morning. Police and civic authorities quickly intervened, blocking off traffic and securing the area. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. Bangkok Governor Chadchart Sitipant linked the incident to an underground subway construction project. Initial investigations suggest that soil flowed into a mass rapid transit tunnel after cracks developed at a joint in a shallow section of the line, causing the ground to cave in. The governor called it a wake-up call for city officials who acknowledged the risks posed by Bangkok's rapid urban growth and complex infrastructure projects. Despite the chaos, Bangkok's Catholic community refused to miss the annual feast. Parish priest Father John Bosco Vijit Senghan ensured access to the church remained open and prepared for the evening celebration. I was worried the faithful might not be able to come, but despite the traffic and the collapse nearby, they came with deep faith, he said. The Feast of Our Lady of Mercy of the Redemption of Captives is one of the most significant celebrations at the 16th century church, widely regarded as the oldest Catholic church in Bangkok. The statue of Our Lady of Mercy was brought from Cambodia by a French missionary when the church was first built. According to legend, when the missionary attempted to return the statue to Cambodia, the boat carrying it would not move. The statue has remained in the church ever since.
In a final farewell to the life of courage and faith, Cardinal Lucian Muraman, the indomitable head of Romanian Greek Catholic Church, passed away on 25th September in Balash at the age of 94. Once forced into secrecy under a brutal communist regime, he emerged as a guiding light, leading his church back into the public sphere after 1989. Vatican News hailed him as a shepherd of resilience, forgiveness, and unity.
Cardinal Lucian Murasan, Major Archbishop of the Romanian Greek Orthodox Church, died on 25th September in Blaj at the age of 94, according to Vatican News. People remembered him as the first major archbishop of his church and a resilient witness of faith during the decades of communist repression in Romania. Born in 1931 in Transylvania, Murasan grew up in a family of 12 children. In 1948, the communist regime banned the Greek Catholic Church, forcing him to abandon his studies and work as a laborer while pursuing theology in secret. State authorities placed him under surveillance and later expelled him from the seminary. Bishop Ion Dragmir secretly ordained Murasan as priest in 1964. He ministered underground, especially to youth and vocations, and after 1986, he became the clandestine leader of the Eparchy of Maramureş. Following the fall of communism, Pope John Paul II appointed him Bishop of Maramureş in 1990, later elevating him to Archbishop Făgăraș and Alba Iulia. Pope Benedict XVI appointed him Major Archbishop of the newly recognized Archiepiscopal See in 2005. He was later elevated to the rank of Cardinal in 2012 at the age of 80. The outlet reported that Murasan often recalled the example of persecuted bishops, stressing forgiveness and friendship with God and all people.
A new report by Impact SC shows that Jordan's public school curriculum contains anti-Semitic content. Some lessons reportedly portray Jews as historical enemies, raising concerns about the intolerance against country's minorities, including Jews and Christians. However, Jordan's education minister has firmly rejected the group's findings, denying bias in the curriculum. A new report by educational NGO Impact SC, released September 26, 2025, accuses Jordan's public school curriculum of promoting anti-Semitism and legitimizing Hamas, a designated terrorist group. Analyzing textbooks for grades 1 to 12, the study found content that portrays Jews as historical enemies, glorifies violence against Israel, and praises Hamas's action as heroic resistance. Some texts include excerpts from Hamas's charter, while while others omit Israel from maps and downplay the 1994 Jordan-Israel peace treaty. The report argues that such material violates Jordan's peace commitments and risks radicalizing its youth, with over 60% of the population under 30. Impact SE CEO Marcus Sheff urged international donors to condition educational aid on reforms, warning that the curriculum fuels extremism. Jordan's Ministry of Education rejected the findings as politically motivated, defending its right to reflect the Palestinian narrative. This marks the third year of similar critiques with little change reported. Experts stress that fostering tolerance in education is critical for regional stability. Jordan has not announced plans to revise its curriculum. The full report is available on Impact SE's website. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, in her UN address, balanced criticism of both Hamas and Israel. She condemned the October 7, 2023 massacre of Israeli civilians as ferocious and brutal, calling Hamas responsible for exploiting weak international law. However, she argued that Israel's retaliation in Gaza has gone too far, violating humanitarian norms and causing civilian slaughter, a stance reflecting growing European calls for Palestinian state recognition and sanctions against Israel. In her address to the United Nations, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni stated that Italy will align with some European Union sanctions against Israel over the war in Gaza, as she believes Israel has crossed a line violating humanitarian norms, causing a slaughter of civilians. Addressing the Assembly, Meloni fiercely condemned the massacre of Israeli civilians on October 7, 2023, by commenting on the attack as ferocious and calling the hunting down of defenseless Israelis during the attack brutal. In her speech, she viewed the event that unfolded during October 7, 2023 as a catalyst for legitimate Israeli action and blamed Hamas for taking advantage of the weakening architecture of international law. However, Meloni commented that Israel's retaliation has gone too far and said that the reaction has defied all the principles of international law by huge proportions. She contended that the Jewish state has ended up violating humanitarian norms, causing a slaughter of civilians, which she said the vast majority of Italians find unacceptable. These comments come at a time when a slew of European nations have expressed support for the recognition of a Palestinian state. Last week, the Commission formally presented its proposal for sanctions on far-right Israeli ministers and a partial suspension of the European Union's association agreement with Israel. The Vatican has given the green light to the sainthood cause of Korean Catholic priest Leo Bang-Yurong, recognized for advancing and inculcated Christianity in Korea during the era of Japanese imperial rule, where church was largely led by foreign missionaries. On September 24, Auxiliary Bishop Job Koo-Yubi of Seoul, who chairs the Archdiocese's beatification and canonization, announced that the Vatican has issued a nihil obstat, officially allowing the process to move forward.
Following the Vatican's approval of the cause of sainthood for Korean Catholic priest Leo Bang-Yurong, the Archdiocese of Seoul is set to declare him a servant of God. On September 24th, Auxiliary Bishop Job Koo-Yubi, the chairman of the Archdiocese's Commission for the Beatification and Canonization, announced that the Vatican has given nihil obstat to the sainthood process for Father Bang. Bang was born in 1900 into a Catholic family and baptized by a French missionary priest. He grew up experiencing Christian persecution in Korea, first during Joseon dynasty rule and then Japanese imperialism. He was ordained to the priesthood in 1930 and worked mostly as a parish priest. To effectively propagate the faith in the country through the Korean language and way of thinking, Father Bang founded the Congregation of Sisters of the Blessed Korean Martyrs in 1946. He also started a congregation for priests in 1953. Seoul Archdiocese is also currently pursuing sainthood for two other prominent Catholic figures, Bishop Barthélemy Borgieri and Cardinal Stephen Kim So-hwan.
Social media platforms have seen a surge in AI-generated videos falsely depicting Pope Leo XIV making comments about Charlie Kirk and President Donald Trump. Though widely shared, these videos are completely fabricated. According to the Vatican's communications office, they have flagged and reported hundreds of accounts, mostly on YouTube, that have circulated these fake videos since the start of Pope Leo XIV's pontificate.
Social media has been flooded with AI-generated videos falsely portraying Pope Leo XIV commenting on Charlie Kirk and President Donald Trump. Despite their widespread circulation, these videos are entirely fabricated. The Vatican is facing a growing challenge in curbing their spread. According to the Vatican's communication team, they have reported hundreds of accounts, primarily on YouTube, that have shared these fake videos since the beginning of Pope Leo XIV's pontificate. However, the fight is ongoing as new videos continue to surface just as quickly as the old ones are removed. The Dicastery of Communications shared in a statement that they are experiencing exponential proliferation of a series of YouTube channels with fake videos spreading in the voice of Pope Leo XIV and others in that of his translators or in third-person point of view. Most of the videos have attracted only a few hundred views, but some deepfakes have started gaining significant traction. One 25-minute video falsely claiming that Pope Leo XIV has broken his silence on the alleged murder of Charlie Kirk amassed over 445,000 views within the first week online.
A young man, Charlie Kirk, a bold advocate for faith, was killed. And while his death brings sorrow, it carries something far greater, a warning. His voice was silenced not because it was empty, but because it echoed with conviction.
One of the earliest viral deepfakes following Pope Leo's election appeared to show him delivering a statement condemning colonialism and praising Burkina Faso's interim president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a military leader who seized power in a 2022 coup. Both Catholic news agency and the official Vatican News published fact checks to debunk the video and alert the public to the misinformation. The 36-minute video, uploaded shortly after the Pope's election in May, reached over 1 million views before YouTube eventually removed the account responsible. The Holy Father himself has pointed out the loss of humanity in the digital realm and warned that extremely wealthy people are investing in AI and are totally ignoring the value of human beings and humanity. In an interview with journalist Elizanne Allen, the Pope recounted his surprise when an acquaintance, clearly concerned, asked if he was okay. In June, AI-generated photos are circulated online showing what appeared to be the Pope tumbling down a flight of stairs outside St. Peter's Basilica. The images were convincing enough to draw the attention of fact-checking site Snopes. The Dicastery of Communication receives dozens of reports each day about fake accounts realistically using the Pope's image and voice. However, due to the sheer volume of such content, it is not feasible to publicly address every single case. In response, the Dicastery is focusing on raising public awareness about this growing issue. The Vatican also urged people to rely solely on official sources for accurate information.
That's all for today. Until we meet again, God bless and thank you.